Hi, I'd like to share with you a very powerful and simple model. It was originally developed by Everett Rogers, and his book, Diffusion of Innovation, has gone through, I think, 5 printings. It's very detailed work. You also saw that's reported in the 5th Discipline by Peter Senge. And then more recently, it was really popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Tipping Point. And this adoption of idea talks about how around any big, large change, whether it's in an organization, a community, or a society, or in the world, about how those changes occur. And at the core of those changes, one of the big dynamics is about who's behind the change. And so that's what this model is about. So really what it says, in relationship to new ideas, there's orientations that people have. A small percentage of the population, somewhere between 3 and 5%, are called innovators. Innovators are the people, often frustrated people. They're the ones that come up with the idea 2, 3, 4 years, maybe even more, before anybody else even takes the idea seriously. It could have been something like, well, someday we're actually going to have computers on that we can wear. I mean, right now in today's world, we're past that. We're talking about computers that people can actually see through and have screens on their glasses. But many years ago, that was like a fringe idea. The next group of people, 9 to 13, maybe 15%, are called early adopters. These people are really key in how I want to explain and talk about using this model. The early adopters are people who are the trendsetters. They're the ones that can take the innovative ideas and they tweak it, and they tweak it in ways that that idea becomes very acceptable to the bulk of people, which are the adopters. And the adopters are 66% of the population. Okay? And this is the category that we're really wanting to often bring on board on a new idea. Larger numbers of people. It's the early adopters who are the ones that influence those people. This group of people is looking towards the innovations and trends set by the early adopters. As we go on to this curve, we have, obviously on a bell-shaped curve, we have the other legs. We have 9 to 13% are called late adopters. And on the far side, we have the 3 to 5% who are called the laggards. The late adopters literally wait a long time before they adopt this new idea, whether it's in an organization or a society. And most significantly about this particular population, though this group of people looks at results. And that's what brings them on board. You don't talk these people into this new idea. They actually have to see the new idea working before they jump on the bandstand. And this group of people, you might wait for them forever. In today's world, we're at 2013, they're thinking that bell-bottom jeans is a good idea for the first time around. So they're way out there on a particular context of ideas. Now, what's useful to consider, and why I'm presenting this particular idea, is it's relative to how you identify this population of people. Because this population, they're the key stakeholders. So if you're in an organization and you want to make change, or you're running a community effort that involves lots of organizations, you want to know who the key stakeholders are for the initiative. But most importantly, you want in each of those stakeholder groups to know who the early adopters are. And because it's this group of people who moves the idea forward, and very rapidly. And so identification of this group is key. You'll see in another little short video clip, which will be posted on my website, an actual process that Tim Dalmo and I developed based on the work of Everett Rogers about how to go through a process and within your community or communities actually identify these people. And it's those people that you want to bring on board. Now, just a word of caution. These people you don't bring on board by convincing them of the strategies and your vision. It needs to be their strategies and their vision So they need to be involved as stakeholders at the very beginning of any process of change. So I hope this has been useful. Please check out the actual process, the tool that's used, that you can use with a group to identify in any population the early adopters, and because they're the key stakeholders. I'm also presenting this because stakeholder analysis is a key component of the whole diagnostic model. There's 6 parts of the key of the diagnostic model, and a stakeholder analysis is an essential component of that work. So again, I hope it's been useful. Thank you for joining me today. Take good care.